What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant, and we are live again. Before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. If you're on Twitter, then hit the follow button. If you're on Facebook, also hit the follow button. But if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button as I drop content daily, go live daily. Stay busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to know what you all got to say about these topics. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, we had our first rendition of Monday Night Football transpire, and I think this game was a didn't really live up to the hype, but all things considered, was a decent game. Had some sparks on both sides of the football. One thing I gotta say is both these defenses need some work, but they were impressive in plays. Fred Warner for sure, Sauce Gardner as well. Sauce got the wind knocked out of him on the play, but he ended up returning to the field. But it was just a good game overall. Jordan Mason, the backup running back for the San Francisco 49ers, stepped up at the last minute as it was reported that Christian McCaffrey would be sitting out this game. He's been dealing with, I believe, a left calf injury the last few weeks. As of Friday, I did see that Christian McCaffrey say that he was good to go, but I believe the health staff may have decided to go a different route. So, uh, highlight of the night was definitely Jordan Mason as he carried the ball for 28 times for 147 yards, one touchdown, and another touchdown that ended up being called back. This guy is definitely impressive. I think he's probably the hottest name in fantasy football right now. So if you do the fantasy, I definitely would employ you to swing by and get him. As there's not a timetable as of yet of how long Christian McCaffrey is going to be out, and they're foreseeing the next two games for sure because it's on artificial turf, I believe, against the Vikings and the Rams. The 49ers' next two games are. So at least those next two games, I believe he will be out, and we'll see. I'll have updates for you as well. But overall, let's go over the box scores as Aaron Rodgers made his first return. Well, excuse me, he made his return from that horrible injury that he suffered last year, Week 1 versus the Buffalo Bills. Really deflated the New York Jets season. From that point on, that they had to go through a rotation of quarterbacks, and all kinds of hoopla was going on. But the defense was still there, not so much this game, but the defense was still impressive for the Jets last season for sure. But Aaron Rodgers' first game back, he went 13 of 21, 167 yards for one touchdown, also one interception. He was also sacked one time. Had a quarterback rating of 51.1. So not Aaron Rodgers esque, not the legendary Aaron Rodgers that we have been grown to know. I'm a Packers man, so I know these are definitely not on par with Aaron Rodgers' numbers, but the game kind of got out of hand very fast. The Jets fought for as long as they could, and at the end of the day, the San Francisco 49ers were literally just a better team, and they looked it. Tyrod Taylor came into the game with about 4 minutes left. He was able to go 6 of 8 for 36 yards, also a touchdown as well. Brees Hall was the highlight in the rushing department for the New York Jets as he kind of picked up where he left off last year. He looked impressive in the beginning, had a big 16-yard run, but um, also carried the ball for 16 carries and 54 yards and a touchdown score. So Brees Hall is going to be very active this NFL season, I believe. So Alan Lazard was the highlight for the receiving department. He had 6 receptions, 89 yards for two touchdowns. One touchdown came in garbage time, but two on the board for him nonetheless with 9 targets. Garrett Wilson, who is the star receiver for this New York Jets offense, uh, he was balling early as Aaron Rodgers went to him early and often, but kind of fell off in the second half. So if you're doing fantasy football, I got Garrett Wilson on my roster. Kind of tread with safety waters because there's no legitimate number two in New York for the New York Jets just yet. So teams will be looking to double Garrett Wilson as he was able to get some work in early, but kudos to the 49ers defense. They were able to make adjustments to kind of take him out of the game in the second half. But he had six receptions for 60 yards. No touchdown scores, but had 11 targets. If you do fantasy football, that's a good thing for you. Brees Hall was another highlight for this offensive passing game. He had 5 receptions for 39 yards. His longest catch was for 13 yards, and he had 6 targets. Third best amongst the receivers. So again, if you got Brees Hall, you got a dual threat there. For the winning team, Brock Purdy, the game manager himself, he really looked even keeled in this game. No touchdown scores, but completed 19 of 29 passes for 231 yards. And y'all know, man, if you don't know, I'm a big advocate, big fan of Brock Purdy. Um, I think that he plays a little bit like Tom Brady, and for people to be like, calling Tom Brady the GOAT, but then calling this dude a game manager. I mean, like he's playing exactly how prime Tom Brady played, and I'm saying that respectfully. Just dive in, dunk, make the long throws that make sense, and get out of there with a win. You don't have to do too much, especially when you got a plethora of weapons like he does. A new weapon again, Jordan Mason, highlight of the night, player of the game in my opinion. Uh, 28 big carries for 147 big yards to step up in place of the injured Christian McCaffrey. Also put up a touchdown. Had one touchdown called back, unfortunately, due to a penalty. And his longest run went for 24 yards. So a big night for Jordan Mason. I believe he's a 10-year vet. Like he's a journeyman, but he definitely had himself a night tonight. Deebo Samuel carried the ball for 8 yards, 23. Excuse me, 8 times for 23 yards for a touchdown himself. Deebo was a dual threat tonight, doing everything. He also had 5 receptions for 54 yards and 9 targets for fantasy football purposes. That's a very important stat. So Deebo is going to be getting a lot of work this year. Um, Brandon Ayuk, man, a guy that just got his big bag. Now, kudos to the New York Jets. Sauce Gardner was taking on the challenge of guarding Brandon Ayuk man to man most of this game. So, and this is kudos to Sauce, man, as he was all over Brandon Ayuk. There were several times that Ayuk had a play, or it looked to be a easy catch. Also had an easy touchdown that he dropped, but a couple times I seen Sauce cover Brandon Ayuk perfectly, and so he was in very active in this game. But he had 2 catches for 28 yards. His longest was a 14-yard catch, but after that, you just didn't hear much from Brandon Ayuk. But I don't expect that to be the trend for the entire season, of course. He also had 5 targets again for fantasy football purposes. I don't think that's going to be a trend for the remainder of the season, of course, but it does bring up a little bit of a light bulb. You hope that teams aren't going to just allow the 49ers to let everybody else eat and hopefully just cover Brendan Ayuk. But another guy stand out, number 15 for the San Francisco 49ers, wide receiver Jawan Jennings. Um, Seems to just be a lightning bolt in this offense as he makes timely plays often. 5 receptions, 64 yards. He led the way in that department. His longest catch was for 22 yards, 5 targets. Kyle Jusic, the fullback for the San Francisco 49ers, he was active, had a big catch for 34 yards, but 2 catches overall for 40. He just kind of sneaks into the offense. I really like Kyle, man. Old school fullback type guy. Does all of the dirty work. And George Kittle, if you had him in your tight end, as your tight end, you got a couple points out of him. He had 4 catches for 40 yards. 26 was his longest for 5 targets. So not a lot of work there, but just enough. But Brock Purdy makes very good use of all his weapons. If you're looking at this box score, you see it's pretty much even, targets and catches. So it's just so many weapons in the San Francisco 49ers offense. You seen it last night. Jordan Mason was the guy. Any one of those guys could step up. They got guys on the sleeper side of things in that offense that could come in and make big plays as well. Like a Juwan Jennings. I mean, everybody knows Debo, Brendan Ayuk, C-Mac. But Juwan Jennings, number 15, is just as lethal in this offense as well. And again, I'm impressed with Brock Purdy, the game manager. I understand that he gets some criticism for all of these weapons that he has, but at the end of the day, we've seen guys that had weapons, quote unquote, before, and they stunk it up and they caused their team to lose. So, what I like about Brock Purdy is that he reminds me a lot of that prime Tom Brady, just dive and dink, a lot of 5 yard plays, a lot of short passes, but makes the big pass when it makes sense. And I think Brock Purdy, of all of the guys that has been in the Kyle Shanahan offense, he fits the best, just as far as his comfort zone. He can make all of the throws. Of course, he's still a kid, not a kid, but he's still on his rookie deal, so still in that developmental phase of his career, but just every time I see Brock Purdy play, he looks a little better. It's always going to be some times where you may fall off, like the Christmas game last year against the Ravens. Going to have bad games, but I love to see the progressions that Brock Purdy is going through. So he's one of my teams. He's my backup quarterback. So I might throw old Brock in the starting lineup next week as the 49ers. I believe they get the Vikings. I can't recall who the Jets get, but we're gonna do a breakdown of week 2. Go over week 1. I just been a little under the weather, so I'm trying to shake back, get back right. Get ready for a show tonight. If I can't do it tonight, y'all, 'cause I'm a little bedridden. I'm gonna get back active tomorrow for sure. I'm not gonna miss 2 days of work, but just wanted to recap this game as it was a good game. Oh, once more, let's look at these. The team stats I love to look at as well. 24 first downs for the 49ers, 14 for the New York Jets, excuse me, which bodes well for the defenses. I guess you could say the San Francisco 49ers defense may be worth the pickup. I didn't see how much they put up in fantasy football, but to hold a team that's supposed to be as potent, the offense for with Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, all these guys, to hold them to just 14 first downs is impressive. So um, total plays, the San Francisco 49ers certainly won the time of possession battle as they ran 70 plays, I believe. Hold on, I remember seeing they had 38 minutes and 40 seconds of time of possession compared to the New York Jets 21 minutes and 20 seconds. So they ran 70 plays, and that was another way they just kept the New York Jets offense off the field. Again, that's a kudos to Jordan Mason. He was just rushing and running all over the place. Anytime they needed a crucial third down, on the rushes, he was there. 49 plays for the New York Jets in their 21 minutes and 20 seconds of offense. Total yards was 266. The Jets to the 401 of the 49ers. 10 total drives for both offenses, which is surprising. I guess it's just those third down conversions, which we're about to get to. Uh, Rushing yards 68 compared to the 180 for the San Francisco 49ers. The New York Jets posted 68 yards. Um, Passing yards 198 for the New York Jets to the 221 of the San Francisco 49ers. One interception thrown by Aaron Rodgers. Uh, Red zone, Jets went 3 of 10. No, excuse me. They went 2 of 2. And the 49ers went 2 of 5. Man, that's great. That's crazy. The 49ers had double the amount of red zone opportunities as the New York Jets. I was looking for third down conversions. Here we go. 6 of 10 for the New York Jets, 6 of 13 for the 49ers. So that's one of those stats that I always look at. Because if you can get those third downs converted, then, that just extends the offense a little bit more, gives you more opportunities to, go for that score. So I'm impressed, man. The San Francisco 49ers, the NFC champions of last year, picked up where they left off last season. Of course, they went to overtime with the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And I got them on my hot topics, as to be the Super Bowl champions of this year. I think they're going to do the revenge tour thing, execute the mission this time. Reloading, they did the exact thing I advised in the offseason. Make sure you get all your troops back. I know it's going to cost some money. You had to extend Ayuk. You had to extend Trent Williams. And they did that. So everything that I've recommended the 49ers to do, they have done. So they definitely got my vote. I think that this is the team to watch for. And I had the Jets winning this game, to be honest. I thought the Jets was going to be worth all of the offseason hype that they was getting. They have the most primetime games this season. So we're going to be seeing the Jets a lot on Sunday and Monday Night Football. But at the end of the day, this was a good game. And I'm impressed with what the 49ers were able to do. An ugly win, for sure. I mean, kudos to Jake Moody, man. Jake Moody was putting up bombs all evening long. As he was my fantasy football kicker, I wanted to give him. I always like to give the kickers they credit, man, because they be hitting those 51. I think Jake Moody had a 51-yard field goal. Bro, I don't like I'm not one of those people that say I could never, but I don't think I could ever kick a 50-yard field goal. It would take a lot of practice, to say, but kudos to those kickers, man. They are specialists, and Jake Moody was kicking bombs all night last night, and I really had to give him his flowers because Jake Moody in my fantasy football points, he put up just as many points, dang near, as Lamar Jackson. The guy I was going against had Lamar Jackson as his quarterback, and Jake Moody had just as many points as, or almost, let me say, it's about 7 or 8 points off, but Jake Moody had a busy night last night, y'all. So just wanted to give him his credit. Give him a shot. Excuse me. Ooh, burping and trying to talk at the same time. And again, kudos to the San Francisco 49ers picking up where they left off. We'll do a recap of week 1 and also dive into week 2. I'm gonna go juice up, give me some orange juice and some medicine in my system. But please, on your way out, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. Also, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and also hit that subscribe button, man. I definitely appreciate the love and support. I am Tony the Savant. Peace.